Digital workers elevate our human workers to accomplish more than we ever thought was possible. The growth and the cost savings is just unbelievable.
So now, using the pre-sales agent on Equinox.com, we've seen a lot of conversion.
Creating really a one-on-one personalized experience to bridge the gap between the services that are offered in the club and our members that help them best on their journey.
Our response rate was 2%, and our conversion was about 40%. Agentforce allows you to personalize intimately. Today, with personalization, our response rate is 35%, and our conversion is 80%. The power of Salesforce is a game changer, because when you personalize, you become relevant.
Now, I've got a question for you. Are you a seller who feels like you're drowning in admin work with less and less time for actual selling? Well, you're not alone, and we have some great solutions coming up for you. This is Scale Revenue Fast with Agentforce Sales. I'm your host, Diane Misota. Over the next 45 minutes, you'll see how Agentforce Sales is transforming every stage of the sales cycle, from pipeline generation to deal acceleration to revenue optimization with live demos and real customer stories. Drop your questions in the chat. We'd love to answer them live on air a little bit later. And after the broadcast, stay tuned for a hands-on workshop where you'll build and activate your own personalized sales agent. Now, our most recent State of Sales research found that 94% of sales leaders say agents are critical for meeting business demands. Now, we're coming to you from Salesforce headquarters with Chris Billmeyer, GM and EVP of Agentforce Sales, and Dina Apostolo, CMO of Agentforce Sales. Now, Dina, how is Agentforce fundamentally changing selling?
Yeah, well, sellers have been buried in this 20-year admin tax, and it's killing growth. We've lifted that burden by rethinking the end-to-end sales cycle, where agents are now an extension of your sales team. These agents are taking the tasks away, like meeting prep and finding prospects with buyer intent, creating account plans and quotes. So this is where Agentforce Sales has reinvented the sales cycle, and we're providing every seller with that digital workforce that is on 24/7 and never clocks out. So humans can focus 100% of their energy on the strategy and the warmth to close.
Fantastic. Now, Chris, what are you hearing directly from customers? What are they saying about it?
Well, we are hearing a lot of excitement from our customers, especially around our new innovations, which we're going to show you today. We're really excited about that. And we're having a lot of conversations centered around really where to start and what to solve for first and how to move quickly. And most importantly, along the way, customers want to make sure that they aren't introducing any new complexity as they move into the agentic sales era.
Yeah, and let's touch on complexity. What causes it, and what advice would you give to solving that?
It's a great question, something we run into a lot. My advice is simple. Simplicity is a strategy. And with Agentforce Sales, we're really that full stack capability for our customers, and we're integrated out of the box. So really critically, all of your data is already connected for you. And like I said, that's critical because great AI really comes from having great data sets as the foundation. And once you have that, you're ready to go with agents. The other thing we think about is we prioritize the why a lot. What's the use case that you're going to solve with agents to drive your growth? And we don't want customers just picking a scenario. We really want to understand the path to get there. And I say this every day, and I'll say it again, great AI is only as good as the data that fuels it. And Agentforce Sales captures that data from everywhere, from emails, from chats, from meetings, from your unstructured data, and it feeds it back into the system to really make it actionable. We just saw a little bit about Equinox, but they use Agentforce to automate routing inquiries and scheduling and billing. This really empowers their advisors to spend 100% of their time on high-value member relationships in their fitness clubs, and that is the power of Agentforce Sales.
Yeah, streamlined, it's powerful, but I gotta ask about the elephant in the room. If agents are doing the prospecting, the research, the follow-ups, does that make human sellers less necessary? Are jobs under threat here?
I actually think it's really the quite opposite. This isn't a replacement. I look at it as this is a promotion of the seller. You don't want your best closers hunting for phone numbers or spending time on manually updating CRM. You want them understanding their customer needs, really their business insights, and as a result, growing their deal sizes. Now, our AI agents, they work around the clock as your digital team, and they handle all the high volume execution. They're embedded directly in your workflows and business logic. Now, we look at this slide right here as the new org structure for the sales team. This is a seller managing a team of agents to drive massive outcomes.
Yeah, it's a workforce transformation. It's going from taking a seller who's solo and drowning in this admin work to one that's managing a digital team of agents. And customers employing agents are giving sellers time back. They're reclaiming up to 25 hours per week.
Now, I understand that one of the biggest friction points in the funnel is that gap between marketing and sales. It's been called a black hole where leads go to die because agents don't have enough time to follow up with them. Is this where a digital workforce is going to make its biggest impact?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head right there. You know, CROs and CMOs, you go to sleep thinking about the health of the pipeline. How do you have enough coverage, 3x, that is going to help you to close for that quarter, for the year? And so historically, sales and marketing have fought over this lead quantity. But the real issue was actually capacity. Humans can only follow up so fast. So with Prospecting Agent now generally available this month, sellers start every day with an intelligently researched, enriched list 24/7 that keeps the enrichment going. So there's zero data manual entry. The agent hunts, ranks, and prioritizes leads, and it's doing this autonomously in natural language. So really, you have to set the ideal customer profile, and the agent is looking across all of your data points, really, and all of the data that you have within your system. And that's what's helping you to find those buyers, and it's helping you to save so much time. Think about all that research time that goes into sellers. They're being able to reclaim that now.
I think that's amazing, and you know we already have our what we call our engagement agent in the market today, and customers are seeing huge success with it. It's really helping their teams engage with leads and convert those leads into a calendar full of qualified meetings, which is so critical. We've eliminated the need for manual lead gen and engagement, so spending time booking meetings is really a thing of the past, and it's not only our customers who are having success with it. We're having success with it internally at Salesforce using our own engagement agent. We took 75% of our leads that were previously untouched due to human bandwidth, and we put them to work through the engagement agent. That's the power of limitless capacity. Pipeline generation is the foundation of predictable revenue. You can close every deal today, and you can still wake up with an empty calendar tomorrow, and agents fix that.
Wow, that is so impressive. Now, I'm sure our viewers can't wait to see this in action. Joining us now with a demo of pipeline generation is Marianne Patel, Senior Vice President of Product Management for Agentforce Sales, and Daniel Brignoni, Principal Solutions Engineer. Welcome.
Thanks, Diane. Well, let's get real for a second and talk about the top of the funnel. Building pipeline is the lifeblood of your business, but it has never been harder than it is right now. And the number one bottleneck, it is not a lack of hustle, it's research. Your absolute best reps are just sitting there, bouncing between dozens of different browser tabs, playing detective, just to build a simple list, when what they really want to do is maximize conversations with customers. We are changing that. Now you can take your best reps and what they do manually and make an agent replicate that process. Do they research on ZoomInfo? Are they looking at the web? What about listening to past calls? Well, the prospecting agent can do all of that. This means the agent can find the critical information from every data source, just like your best reps. Now, watch this. All I need to do is tell the agent what I need. Let's start with some must-haves. I want accounts that have at least 10 BDRs, make sure that these accounts are growing, and I also really want to look inside of ZoomInfo. Okay, now we're going to have some nice-to-haves to sharpen focus. Let's check for SOC 2 compliance and also make sure these accounts have the right intent signals that my marketers have been driving into demand base. And just like that, the agent has what it needs to start prospecting. But I know what you're thinking. I bet this is fake. Well, it's not, because the preview on the right, it's going to show that Agentforce isn't just guessing. It starts by looking at all the data from the vendors that I trust and use. The agent is going to go through all of the criteria I just listed to do the research. And as long as I provided the right instructions, the prospecting agent's going to operate just like my best rep. This preview looks great to me. So now let's switch to see what one of those amazing reps is going to see when they log in on Monday. Everything that they need is now on a silver platter. They have all their prioritized accounts, contacts. It's all teed up and ready to go. And thanks to Agentforce, instead of searching for info, they just need to review it. Every prospect has a clear reason on why they're qualified and why this is the right person. So we're drilling in here and we're looking at Alicia. Well, the data shows that her account has over 25 BDRs, and she definitely matches my ideal customer profile. But here is the real aha moment. We actually had an opportunity with her in the past. And while most systems would just see close lost and move on, Agentforce doesn't do that. The agent has mined old call recordings, emails, messy notes, and they have figured out Alicia was our champion. She did want to buy, but the timing was just off. And so the agent says, now is the time to strike. She's perfect. The rest of this list also looks like it's great. So I'm just going to select these prospects, queue them up, and send them to our engagement agent, and they're engaged with every single one. Now let's take a look at what one of those engagements looks like. This is not a robotic blast and pray on a generic template. It learns my tone. It knows my style. It sounds like me. Every message is also tailored with that great enriched data we just got from the prospecting agent. The agent is not nudging. It is selling. And here's where it gets powerful. The agent doesn't just send and hope, but it's operating autonomously, handling follow-up questions, qualifying interest, and even booking meetings directly on my calendar. All of that outreach is right here working on my behalf. And when it's engaging with leads or customers autonomously or teeing them up, everything that I need is right here. I know what's happening at the big picture. I can see all of the work behind the scenes. Agentforce is out there qualifying, warming up, filling up my calendar with meetings, and there's no more hunting. You just saw how we have completely transformed the way that you prospect and engage customers. Engagement has already available, and you can get your hands on prospecting later this month. Back to you, Diane.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Great demo, and thank you so much, Daniel. Now we're going to hear from a customer seeing success with Agentforce Sales. Dina had the chance to catch up with EVP and CTO at Equinox, Ishwar Valluri, to talk about how the high-end luxury fitness chain is scaling with agents.
All right, I am here with Ishwar, EVP and CTO of Equinox. Ishwar, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, I'm really excited to talk about your success with Agentforce Sales. But before we dive into that topic, let's talk about Equinox for a moment. What's your mission and what gets you excited about your role as the CTO?
I mean, Equinox is a high-performance lifestyle brand. We have about close to 120 clubs right now, and we've been around for 35 years and expanding across the US. And I've been with them for almost 15 years.
Let's talk about Equinox pre-Agentforce. So before implementing Quinn, your agent, how did you identify and connect with new prospects? Where were you seeing most of the friction with engaging leads?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of a couple of fronts. So we've been experimenting with chatbots, which were more dialogue-based, where it's almost like playing a game of 20 questions with series of things and people finding their answers. And otherwise, the sales process was pretty traditional, where people would walk in, phone in, you would get digital leads, and our sales advisors would meet them. In the last 5 years, kind of like there is, along with agentic, also just a shift in how our consumers were reaching us. The amount of digital leads increased, and as you know, digital leads require more nurturing than people who walk into our clubs. So from a capacity constraints or ability to actually, meet people at different times and everything else, our traditional methods were not working as well. So I think Quinn came at the right time, where it was an inflection point in terms of us having constraints and the solution actually offering us respite in terms of like meeting our leads and prospects exactly where they are or the times that they need and ability to actually nurture them and create appointments so that they can meet with our advisors. So that is what we've implemented in the last 1 year. Quinn works on the website where it is able to answer, questions that our leads might have regarding clubs, amenities, and why they should be joining Equinox and what is the best way for them to join. And then Quinn also does emails and other nurturing to be able to kind of actually help them meet the advisors at the clubs at the time that is convenient for them.
So let's talk about some of those results that you're now seeing and that you're talking about and that are giving you the excitement to take this further.
Yeah, so I think, from a results standpoint, today our central MA team works normal hours, right? Like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And previously, any leads that came in the evenings or on weekends, they would fall to them when they came back during the workday. And now that we have Quinn working 24/7, we see far better response rates from our leads and better closing rates for those that are engaged. So we are expanding on that to see how we can actually, have some of these leads be met with a digital agent even during work hours when we still have some capacity constraints. It's still early, but what gives us the confidence is that as we've tried, and it does require some tweaking and tuning, we are very confident that we're on the right path towards not just experimenting with agentic solutions, but actually helping our business propel by using this as a method of growing our revenue.
Now that Quinn is part of your digital workforce and is handling initial engagement and lead qualifying, what are your human sellers doing with that reclaimed time? And how has it shifted those member advisors to focus more on complex and high-touch member relationships?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think, it's helped us actually have better interactions with members who walk in or leads that walk in or phone in, but also spend much more quality time with those that come for a tour, right? So I think we're able to personalize that experience, take our prospects on kind of like, having for a class or for a strength session, spend more time with them and answer their questions better, prepare better for their visit, and also reach out to them afterwards with answers for the questions they might have had, versus engaging on mundane tasks like combing the pipelines and sending reminders.
Now, when we started, you did share some exciting kind of voice elements around the brand of Equinox, the strong vision that you have, which has been a key to your success. And so as you think about bringing a digital agent such as Quinn into your tech stack, but more than that, really your organization, how have you been able to incorporate your voice, your tone, the company messaging while ensuring this personalized engagement?
I think I would say, through kind of continually enhancing the context that we're providing Quinn, right? So we obviously started as anyone would with giving our brand guidelines, giving our brand book, having past exchanges that we feel are more exemplars of how we want Quinn to behave, but also having constant feedback, kind of like telling our agent, you did a good job here. Here you can do better. Never say this. Don't do this again. It's training, as it's called in models, is exactly what it is, that it requires training. And we do see the quality improving as we kind of go about it. But also, I think, tuning it so that it understands when it is doing better and when it's not.
Well, we're really excited about this journey that you're leading Equinox on. The combination of having agents and humans within the workforce and being able to have the technology behind supporting, you're really pushing the industry forward. And I just want to thank you for being such a remarkable partner for us and at the forefront of this technology. So thank you so much, Ishwar, to you and the rest of your team.
I think appreciation from us also to you.
Sounds great. Looking forward to more to come.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Equinox is maintaining a high-end club experience digitally while operating at a massive scale, not just saving time, but getting to know their members better along the way. Now, generating pipeline is a huge win, but we know the friction doesn't stop there. Chris, once a deal is live, where else are you seeing hurdles that might stall the close?
So, during a given week, how much time do you think sellers actually spend engaging with customers?
60% of their time, 70.
You're not gonna believe when I tell you. So, you have to look at what a seller actually does on a given weekly basis. We ask our sellers all the time to be closers, but they're spending 70% of their week acting as data clerks.
Whoa.
Non-selling activities.
That's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. And think about that. You're manually logging CRM updates, crafting every individual follow-up from scratch. You're chasing down meeting times. I think this is all legacy thinking, and it's really a waste of sellers' times and talents. And with Agentforce, we're manually updating CRM. It isn't a chore anymore. It's automated. And this is really the seller's holy grail as I think of it.
Yeah, sellers know the pain of Admin Friday. I hate hearing this from sellers when I talk to them, that they spend hours lost to meeting prep and research. And that's the old way. It's tab switching, it's digging through opportunities, and it's talking to your teammates to get some warm introductions. The Agentforce way, though, it's research is done in real time, autonomously, behind the scenes. And agents are automating these briefs and preps and all of those things that I've mentioned. And the beautiful thing about this is that sellers can bring warmth and good judgment to their customers, and our product is meeting them where they are. So now we are bringing Agentforce Sales to Slackbot, and all of these other surface areas that sellers work.
Amazing. Well, Chris, the market is flooded with sales tools right now. What actually separates Agentforce Sales from the rest of the pack?
I love that question. I think in large part, we're moving past the assistive era. Agentforce is a digital workforce that really monitors pipeline, account health. It doesn't just surface insights, it actions tasks while you're sleeping. And while you're offline, your agents are identifying prospects, they're qualifying leads, they're booking meetings for your day. And so now sellers get to focus on the real conversations and building the best relationships with their customers. We're full stack.
Love this. So, Dina, this is more than just a productivity boost. This is literally giving sellers their time back.
That's absolutely right. It's like we're repealing this admin tax, right? That Friday afternoon admin time. And so, for example, instead of like hunting through CRM tabs and email threads, now sellers, what they're doing is they're able to collaborate with agents directly inside of Slack. And so today you can prompt Slackbot to update a record, summarize a deal room, or prep you for the meeting. And it's all in the flow of a conversation. So it's not just about saving time, it's about meeting sellers where they work. And we're really excited about this part of the experience that is just only going to enrich the seller's experience and make them happy, make them get back to the art of selling.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, who wouldn't be against turning Admin Friday into Taco Friday? All right, well, this is such a win. Now we're going to see how Agentforce handles the tactical heavy lifting to actually accelerate the close. Christina Hastings, Senior Manager of Product Marketing, please show us what this looks like in action.
Awesome. Thank you, Diane. Now that our funnel is full, it is time for the best part. We are going to close some deals. Shout out to Daniel for helping me drive this demo. So we're going to start in your all-new sales workspace. This is not just a dashboard. It is your command center. This is the place where you and your agents tag team to move deals across the finish line. Take a look at the top right. That is real-time visibility into all of the work your agent is doing. Updating opportunities, engaging leads, transcribing your calls. It's keeping all of the wheels turning while you stay in the loop. Across the top, you get a pulse check on how your business is tracking. Things like attainment, conversion, gap to quota. We know that you've stared at these numbers in your CRM for years, but now they're actionable. Right below that, you get prioritized recommendations across your entire pipeline. It tells you exactly what action to take, why to take it, and even shows where you can delegate to Agentforce with just a click. There's no more guessing who you should call or what the next best step is. But let's make this real. So first up, you can see I have an important meeting to prep for this afternoon. I need to get up to speed fast. And I love a good briefing document, but I don't have time to search across a dozen different tabs to prep. So I'm gonna ask Agentforce to generate a brief for me. And you'll see, in seconds, I get a totally scannable view of everything I need. An overview of the account, insights into competitors, recommended topics to cover during this meeting. It's doing all of the research for me, surfacing those insights from Salesforce, from the web, and other data sources. This isn't just a data dump, it's a cliff notes so that I can win my deals. And if I want to go deeper and I have more questions, I just ask the agent a follow-up, like what are their strategic priorities? And it generates instant targeted answers. We've automated all of the prep work so you can focus on building relationships. But when it comes time for the meeting itself, we thought of that too. We want reps to be fully present. So leave the notepad at home because Agentforce is gonna do the heavy lifting. It'll record and analyze the calls, surfacing the information I need to know, like a summary of what was discussed and next steps. But here's the really exciting part. This conversation intelligence is way more powerful than just removing admin work. This is the foundation of your entire sales cycle. Every customer call, every email, objection, and product insight, think about it. That data is the fuel that powers your reps and your agents across the platform. And because Agentforce deeply understands where this deal stands, it can help you keep your pipeline fresh at scale. So normally, we just heard, after a meeting, reps have a bunch of tedious manual CRM updates to make. It is the part of the job that's really important, but everyone dreads. So we're getting rid of admin Fridays. So whether suggesting changes or making them for me, my agent can take that call transcript and update the deal stage, update next steps, help me send follow-ups with just a click, and even fill in my medic fields. Plus, I always get the why behind every suggestion, along with source context. So this is never a black box, and I'm always in the driver's seat. Think about what this means for your teams. For reps, there's no more manual data entry. And for my sales leaders out there, that means your pipeline and forecasts stay updated and accurate without your reps lifting a finger. Now, this opportunity is moving fast, and it's time to send a quote. We all know that building quotes manually can be a massive time sink, and I don't want to lose momentum in the last mile of this deal. So instead, I just tell Agentforce what the customer needs using natural language. And the magic here is our agent cross-referenced our product catalog, active promotions, and my specific user permissions, and every quote is accurate and fully compliant. Now this looks great, and just like that, it is ready to send off to a customer. Now that this deal is well on its way to closing, I'm heading straight back to my sales workspace, primed and ready to repeat this win across every account in my pipe. But even better, we have extended Agentforce Sales to where your teams are working, whether that's Sales Cloud, Slack, ChatGPT, or Teams. It's embedded directly into your workflows and business logic, and it works seamlessly across the apps that your team is already using. For instance, you can see it's easy as prompting Slackbot to update records, summarize a deal room, or even prep you for a meeting, all in the flow of conversation. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about saving a few minutes here and there on admin. This is about driving true sales velocity across every deal. And the very best part, all of the innovation that you just saw is generally available. So you can get started on your agentic selling journey today. Back to you, Diane.
Thank you so much, Christina. Great demo. Sales velocity. Love that. Well, we've seen how Agentforce makes the individual seller more consistent. But for the leaders watching, the CROs, the CFOs, the CMOs, they're accountable for the bottom line. How does this transform the business in the bigger picture? Chris?
So my advice for those leaders is to recognize the shift and lead in. It's simple, but it's profound. So Agentforce Sales isn't just a sales stack, it's a revenue stack. In the past, growth was down to individual heroics. Now it's an accountability story. We're moving away from fragmented tools and into a world where your business advantage is having agents that are connected, that are unified, and that are working together all the way from lead to cash, as we just saw. So optimizing revenue is a top of mind, everyday business opportunity for a business leader.
And that revenue stack fundamentally changes the job description of your people. So in this model, growth depends on orchestration across the sales cycle. We're moving towards a world where every account executive manages a team of agents that handle the entire workflow from first prospect touch to the payment collection. So it's no longer about how many reps can you hire. It's about how much revenue can you drive, right? And how much revenue can you get out of this digital workforce that's orchestrated and working together.
So excited. So excited. Thank you. Well, let's see how Salesforce is actually living this transformation as customer zero.
Before Agentforce, it could take 10, 20 calls sometimes just to reach one prospect. But now my reps are starting their day with meetings that the agent has already set for them, working behind the scenes on their behalf. So we call it Agentforce selling. The agent handles the first touch, the nurture, and even the re-engagement. And then when a human steps in, it's warm, it's contextual, it's ready. What I love is that everything is already in Salesforce for us. All of the context of the agent conversation, all of the intent signals, all of the campaign information from the lead. That's the real magic. The agent doesn't disrupt the way that we sell, it enhances it. It means that my SDRs are spending twice the amount of time in real conversations. So they're learning faster, they're thinking deeper, they're building true business acumen.
Conducting account research for us is just inefficient. To build an account point of view, we had to access third-party data vendors, we had to do enrichments, we had to navigate dashboards, reports. It took too much time. It could take each AE up to 20 hours for a high-priority account. With Agentforce, we've completely automated account research. It consolidates all those internal and third-party data sources so our sellers can generate a detailed account point of view in a matter of minutes rather than hours. Now, each and every seller gets insights, but high-quality insights at that they can take action on for every single account. Even more updates can be done in just a few clicks, so account plans are constantly refreshed in real time all the time. What that actually means for us in the real world is we're seeing shortened sales cycles. We're seeing more engagements, more activities with more contacts. And that's leading to, on average, bigger deal sizes for us.
I manage a large volume of opportunities, anywhere between 20 to 30 at any given time. And my success is measured by growing pipeline and revenue. But every day, I'm evaluated on my ability to keep my book of business updated and pipeline progression. Before Agentforce, I'd estimate I spent 2 to 4 hours per week updating my opportunities. And yes, it was all manual. With Agentforce, that number has been reduced to about 30 minutes. In pipeline inspection, I have this new column called Agent Activity, where Agentforce actually recommends deal updates for me. If I want to see the source of data or the source of truth, one click brings me to the call recording. Agentforce gives me time back to spend with my customers to help them grow their business.
Chris and Dina, how does this shift from busy work to human-centric selling change the long-term blueprint for sales organizations?
Well, I mean, I think this is the blueprint. To me, this is the blueprint for growth, and it's fundamentally changed. So for the last 20 years, scaling meant hiring more people, really just adding to the complexity. The new model is agentic enterprise, growth powered by a digital workforce, competitive advantage powered by human ingenuity. I think that's the new model. And in this model, you're managing outcomes and you're not managing headcount. So when agents handle high volume execution, prospecting, research, your people are free for high stakes thinking. So I think about this as SDRs and AEs, they aren't just faster, they're entering warmer, more strategic conversations from the very first touch.
That's right. It's really a force multiplier of your talent. You know, finally, sellers get to do what they love, and they get back to the art of selling. They're building trust, they're solving problems, and their business overall is operating at a lower cost because of that, because you have these agents in the workforce. And according to our recent State of Sales report, companies with a digital workforce increase revenue by 30%. Now, let that sink in. This is the blueprint for the next decade of sales.
That is so great. 30%. Wow. Thank you so much for that blueprint for growth. Well, the agentic era isn't coming. It's here, where every seller can become a high-stakes strategist. So now you've been putting your questions into the chat, and we're going to hear from you. You can keep adding them into the chat, but we are live right now here on Salesforce Plus, and we are about to take your questions about Agentforce Sales. So first up, we've got Jeff saying, how does Agentforce Sales help us find potential buyers not already in our Salesforce instance?
So it's a great question. So we just demoed the prospecting agent today. So the prospecting agent, while it will enrich all of the data that exists in Salesforce and enrich your current accounts and customers, it also goes out to the web and mines new customers for you based on your ideal customer profile that you tell it. So while it will enrich existing, it also goes and hunts and gathers the new.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
really excited about it.
Okay. Well, Steve wants to know, can you personalize these follow-up emails that are sent by the agent?
Absolutely. So the agents are working off of natural language. So of course personalization can get done, but more importantly, think about, your brand guidelines and all of those things that are super important that stay grounded in maybe your corporate or your business. Everything that your marketing team would be using, that's exactly what the agent is being directed on. And the great thing too is that the agent can be adapted, right? So you can tailor it, you can observe it, and you can continue to personalize it more and more. So these aren't static email responses that are happening. These are two-way conversations. And so that's the real magic with natural language here.
Yeah, observability is so important. Being able to enter the conversation at any time and kind of take over or tweak what the agent is doing. So really a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah, very customizable. All right, Al-Karim Kassam wants to know, can the agent work off of custom objects, or is it restricted to leads, contacts, and accounts?
Oh, great question. So right now, we are restricted to leads, contacts, and person accounts, but we're working on support for custom objects. You should be seeing more of that this summer.
Exciting. All right. Next, Tim on Salesforce Plus would like to know, is this data contingent on other vendors or embedded in Agentforce?
Well, it's both. We look at our stack basically as the end-to-end sales flow. But that stack can be augmented by other data vendors as we went through. You saw in the prospecting agent, pulling data from ZoomInfo and from other places. We are an open platform. We allow you to bring your own data sets. But we think a lot of the data that you need is created by our apps, our experiences, conversations that we capture. But yeah, you can bring whatever you want.
Love it. All right, here's another one. Is the engagement agent the SDR agent, or is there something new?
Good question there. So the engagement agent is the new version of SDR, or the SDR agent, which we launched. It's been enhanced like you wouldn't believe over the past 6 to 12 months, really. So as you think about the SDR agent as really serving kind of this purpose within a sales department, the agent is now working more upstream. When you think about that sales and marketing connection here, this agent is basically engaging with every conversion point that any prospect or customer is engaging, right? And it's working it. So those lines of sales and marketing are really blurred. This engagement agent is working across those customer touch points, and it's following, the customer through that lifetime, bringing the data with it. So it's no longer about serving just a single purpose of a sales department. I also must call out that sometimes you see an SDR function and it does sit within marketing. They may not call the roles those same things. And so, taking it out of a role-based specific task into an engagement agent with the templates that are intelligent to know where to connect with customers is really where we're seeing the innovation spark. And we're seeing so much pull through, like what we explained with the Salesforce on Salesforce story, with being able to really capture all of those leads that were at top of the funnel.
Amazing. All right, we have time for one more question. Jacqueline would like to know, does Agentforce amend data in Salesforce via your ZoomInfo license? Is there an out-of-the-box connector to ZoomInfo?
So the answer is both. So we've got a great partnership with ZoomInfo. You can bring your own credentials and auth into ZoomInfo to augment the prospecting agent. But what's really amazing is when you augment the prospecting agent, we capture all that data and we use it across the entire sales cycle. So it's really informing everything we're doing. If you're not a ZoomInfo customer today, you can easily draw a connector in product and auth and create a new account.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you everyone for putting your questions in the chat. Dina, Chris, any final words to wrap up?
Yeah, the agentic era is here. And so every seller in this era is gaining these superpowers. These junior reps are selling like 10-year veterans. These top performers are managing larger books of business with deep strategic engagement, and it's driving bigger, more complex deals. And then sales managers, they're reclaiming time too on talent development and deal strategy. So this is what it looks like when revenue grows faster than the headcount.
Yeah, this isn't about doing more work faster. It's about redefining what a seller can accomplish. And Agentforce Sales eliminates that admin tax. It closes the consistency gap. It unifies lead to cash. And it transforms sellers into relationship architects who govern a digital workforce that's working 24/7 for you. Now every lead is nurtured, every rep is productive, and every single that we capture is turned into revenue. So the hundreds of thousands of companies that run on Salesforce already, they have this data. Now they have the workforce to act on it.
Thank you so much, Chris and Dina. And a big thank you to everyone who joined us here in the studio and to all of you watching online.